Hey ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a value project, and that value project is to teach some shading. If you new to the art project, please subscribe down below. If you watch this video all the way through and you like it, please hit the like button at the bottom, and share my video on some social media, please. So first thing I'm going to do with this project is put a border around the paper. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch border around the paper. And I put a 1/2 inch border around the paper for several reasons. The first reason is it actually makes the whole presentation look a lot more professional. When the whole thing is completed, it's going to look like a professional artist did it. Second reason that I put the border on the paper is because if you're going to have it framed or matted, part of the picture is going to be covered up if you make your picture go all the way to the edges. So putting a 1/2 inch border gives a place for the mat to, for the paper to be stuck to the mat or taped to the mat, and without covering it up. The third reason is because that way students have just a little bit less paper that they actually have to fill in. So when I'm putting this border on here, I measure on the edge, out from the edge, a 1/2 inch twice, once at the bottom and once at the top, and then I put my ruler on those two dots and draw a straight line from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top. You got to put two measurements. If you only put one, then you have no way of knowing that you're actually the same distance from the edge of the paper all the way up and down it. So be sure and put two marks, one at the top, one at the bottom, or one on the left and one on the right. That way you have two marks to line up. After I got the border on it, I put some circles. You can divide your paper up any way you want to, but I'm using a little plastic safety compass to make some circles in random places, some going off the side of the paper, some small, some really large, and I'm just using this to divide the paper up. After I use the compass, I'm going to use a ruler to divide it up even more. I think a good rule of thumb is to have at least 9, maybe even at least 12 divisions on your paper to make this easy. You don't want too many divisions, but obviously you don't want to have too few either. So I think 12 or more is really good, and probably less than 25, somewhere between 12 and 25. When I was doing this, I had a little bit of technical difficulty, and my phone kind of went kaput, and I didn't get the very first part of all the shading. So as you see here, I've got almost half of it done uh, because I'd worked on a bunch of it, filmed it, videoed it, and it didn't work. I'm using a 3B pencil to do the shading. 3B is not really a whole lot darker than a number 2 pencil, so if you got a number 2 pencil, you can use that, just any regular pencil. I usually try not to use a mechanical pencil, but some students have used mechanical pencils, and that's fine. So in shading it in, I decided that I would make my highlight at the lower right hand corner of every shape. That way it's consistent, and that way it looks as though the light source is coming from the bottom right. Um, that means that I'm making the upper left side as dark as I can. I'm actually going around the entire thing with black. I'm making it as dark as I can with my pencil all the way around. and then kind of fading it out to the highlight. So when I start at the edges, it is the shape of the shape that I'm shading in. But as I get closer to the highlight, I try and make it a little bit rounder. So I'm fading from whatever the shape is and into the middle into like a circle. The highlight itself is usually kind of a circle. I think of this project a little bit like the Karate Kid and how Mr. Miyagi told him to wax on and wax off, or paint the fence up and paint the fence down. He was training his hands to do certain movements and to do those movements by instinct, by reflex. And so this is kind of the same thing. By shading in all of these little areas, you are teaching your hand to be able to press down hard or release the pressure and make it a little bit lighter as you need to in different degrees of pressure. Most students, it seems like, have a really heavy hand, and so if you find your hand is just like really heavy and you have a hard time drawing light until you get it right, this is a great practice to help train you to do different degrees of pressure. All right, so you can see right here I'm like drawing really, really dark, and then I'm kind of fading it out a little bit. It's not as dark in the not as dark away from the corners, and then as I get to the middle, I've got to have a really, really light pressure to keep from making it too dark near the highlight. So right now I have about 430 something subscribers, and I'm pretty excited about growing my YouTube channel and getting more subscribers. I really appreciate everybody who has subscribed to me, and I hope that you'll spread the word and help me to get better at what I do. Leave me a comment down below if you got any ideas or suggestions. If you think I should talk more, let me know. If you think I should talk less, let me know. You really can't say anything to hurt my feelings. I want to do the best I can on these videos, so feel free to let me know down below. If you haven't already subscribed, if maybe you're a student and your teacher's showing you this video, please go home and subscribe to my channel and watch it. You don't have to wait on your teacher to show you these videos. You can learn hopefully from me and impress your teachers when the time comes to do a certain project or whatever with the new skills that you have, hopefully by trying out some of the things that I do in my video. Not all of my videos are going to be projects like this. Some of them are just, watch me doodle or watch me draw. I'm going to do some painting videos. I'm going to do some collaborations with other artists. There's just going to be a lot of art-related things on this video. I hope to even do some small stop-motion videos later on. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks. I really enjoyed doing this project. I've done it every year, but this is a project where as you're shading stuff in, you can really kind of zone out and you can think about other things. And obviously you need to watch what you're doing and pay attention to what you're doing, but you can meditate, sort of zone out, let the cares of the world dissipate while you are working on this. And I think my kids really, really like this too, because it's sort of a mindless process. They don't have to think too hard or solve problems too much. They just have to get the job done, and keep on working. And they really like the way it turns out when they see that they can create something that sort of looks shiny on one side and not so shiny on the other, or has that highlight. My kids like this a lot. I put up the example on the board and I say, all right, I'm going to show you how to do this. And some of them are like, oh no, I can't do that. There's no way. And others are like, really? That's awesome. How are we going to do that? How do you do it? How do you do it? So they get pretty amazed at what they can do after they learn how to shade really good. Like I said, by the time you get to the end of this, you have the ability to shade, you have the ability to apply a lot of pressure and ease off on it, ease off on that pressure to create lighter marks, lighter strokes, and value. It's a really good sort of training method. Look at how I go kind of like what is that word on when you're doing a picture? A vignette. It's sort of a vignette effect on the corners of each of these shapes. Create sort of a vignette of darkness and then slowly work it into a circle when you get to the highlight. That vignette takes on the shape or starts with the shape of the actual shape there, and then that shape slowly morphs into a circle as you get towards the highlight. Well, that's pretty much it for this assignment that I do. It really took me about 2 hours, I think, to from beginning, from doing the border all the way to the end, maybe 2.5 hours to do it. Of course, I've sped it up for you here, so you can see the whole process. So I spend about 3 class days with my students doing this, and that's after I do a value scale with them, like a little strip of paper with a value scale on it, and then another strip of paper with a value gradation. So I do a couple of days of just talking about value and doing some value practice, and then I do this one and sort of counts as a final project. And then I'm going to do another value project with them later on, just so that they can use the skills that they got here. So there it is, done with it. If you got any questions, comments, ideas, suggestions, videos that you want to see done, please leave them in the comments down below. Please subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, hit like. Watch some of my other videos right here.